All right, a little NHL 94 nostalgia for you here today. Got my hometown Detroit Red Wings taking on, interestingly, the Quebec Nordiques, who of course would become the Colorado Avalanche. A little offside there by one Matt Sundin. Sundin, of course, would be traded from the Nordiques, I believe in a contract year, for Wendell Clark of the Toronto Maple Leafs. That is how Sundin came to be a member of the Toronto Maple Leafs and a franchise staple. Get out of here. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, that was a pretty lopsided trade. Clark was had sustained a number of injuries to his back in particular. And Sundin, of course, went on to be Matt Sundin. All right, here we go. Ooh, plowed into the boards. Stevie with it. Yeah, I haven't memorized who all of the players are in their respective numbers. I see 17. I associate it with Doug Brown from the Wings Cup years. Lidstrom blazed down the hammer. I think this is Brad McCrimmon, number 2 for Detroit, as they say in the French language. Dino Ciccarelli. Unfortunate that he was never on with Wings Cup teams. Fell out of favor with Scotty Bowman. Here's Ciccarelli. Now Ciccarelli looks. He's got Yzerman. Yzerman, backhander, save by Ron Hextall. That was their goaltender at the time. Yzerman again. Another save by Hextall. He'll hold on to that puck. Of course, Ron Hextall, was the goaltender of record when the Wings bumped off the Flyers in the 97 Stanley Cup Finals. Fedorov with it now. Just had his jersey retired a couple weeks back. Paul Coffey. Coffey around the net. Coffey holds. He looks. He looks. He looks some more. Throws up the boards. Picked off there by the Nordiques. Nearly put it in their own net. Coffey has it again. He drops. Ooh, big hit there. Look out here. Partial breakaway. And he scores. And the Nordiques, Steve Duchesne. Steve Duchesne makes it 1-0. Interesting factoid. He, too, would become a Stanley Cup champion with the Detroit Red Wings in the 2002 season. Get out of here. Much maligned goaltender for the Red Wings, Tim Cheveldae, in net. Stevie Y wins the faceoff. Yzerman, nice little move there. Here he comes. Yzerman, up and away. Yzerman shoots. Save, Hextall. 5:22 to play in the first. It's an interesting thing about these old games. There's like a learning curve with the controls all over again. Last week, I picked up the controller and I had to play a good dozen games or so before I was able to put together, things that look like hockey plays and put the puck in the back of the net. Prior to that, I was playing like 1-0, 2-1 games. Here's Konstantinov. The Red Wings' once vaunted defenseman. His career was cut down tragically after the 97 Cup in a limousine accident. Konstantinov. Shot there. Nothing much to shoot at, but the Wings will go to the power play. Cross-checking to Mike Ricci. Oh yeah, Mike Ricci, the Schnage. He was a hell of a hockey player. Later went on, after his Avs career, to San Jose Sharks. Despite the Wings and Avs rivalry, I came to really respect Mike Ricci. Just kind of a blood and guts type of player that any team needs to win. Fierce competitor. Coffey. Not just that, the passing lanes are getting closed up. Number 33, this is before Chris Draper's time. They had not yet purchased him for $1 from Winnipeg. Ooh, missed pass there. Paul Coffey will have, nope. What a career for Paul Coffey. Part of the Oilers dynasty, then goes to the Penguins during the Lemieux and Yager era, then comes to the Wings for a few years, but of course he was traded, he was part of that trade for Brendan Shanahan, so Coffey did not win a cup here in Detroit. 23 seconds ago in the Detroit power play, Paul Yserbart, I think, to Sergei Fedorov. Fedorov's going to drop, he gives to number 3, here comes, oh, come on! The computer players on your team constantly go offside in this game. It's very difficult to have a clean entry because they are always just offside. Here we go. Behind the net. Detroit has it. Waiting for some help. Got no help, so he tried it himself. Hextall, another save. 1-0 for the Nordiques. Stevie Y, Matt Sundin busting in. The young Swede shoots it high and wide. Yzerman missed the puck there. I believe that's Duchesne once more. It's Paul Coffey. Coffey with it. Coffey. Yzerman. Ah, come on. Come on. See what I mean? It's offside. Offside. Oop. Picked my wrong line there. That's the other thing about NHL 94. I think maybe in 95 was when they started going to the full amount of lines. This only had, you have 2 scoring lines and a checking line. And if you know, anyone who watches hockey knows you roll 4 lines. There, oh, couldn't feed it through to Fedorov, and again, the Nordiques do a nice job sealing off those passing lines and get just walloped. Detroit holds it in. Oh, lost track of the clock there. So after 1, it is Quebec 1, Detroit 0. Let's get to some second period action. This would have been Joe Louis Arena at the time. I attended many events, hockey games, wrestling events. I think even the Ringling Brothers Circus when I was a child. That's a goal. 2-0. Steve Duchesne again. He's turned into an offensive juggernaut. I'm going to throw that checking line out there. Checking line, got Probert, Dallas Drake. Dallas Drake would win a cup with the Wings in 2008. Second go-around with the team. There comes Keith Primo. Big Keith Primo! He's got it still. Primo. Still with it! Shot? No, nothing there. Primo, of course, was the key piece in that trade for Brendan Shanahan back in 1995 when Shanny played with the Hartford Whalers. Come the Wings again. Just the passing lanes just clogged up. Extremely difficult for the Wings to get much going. Hextall's making it easy on him. Cheveldae, quickly out. Lose control. Sundin. Wings will try her again. Trying to break out, but they can't. And again, they mishandle the puck. That's Bob Probert there. May have snorted a bump before the game. Which definitely may have been the case at the time. And Wings trying to regroup. Oh, it gets just demolished. Nice check there. This line's got to get off. They're gassed. 7 minutes to play here in the second, and the Wings will finally get a chance to change on the offside. I do like that Colorado still pays homage to the Nordiques franchise. Those reverse retros, their alternate jerseys, whatever you want to call them, those things are sharp. Ooh! Quebec nearly with a major faux pas, and Hextall, he now loses the puck. Lidstrom loses the puck. Look out, another breakaway, and they score, and it is 3-0. Mike Ricci getting in on the action. The assist from Kay Huffman, no idea who that is. 3-0, and the Wings are in trouble. They got to regroup here. And they controlled in their own zone. Little dipsy-doo. Offside again. Man. The Joe is real quiet right now. Of course, Wings now play at Little Caesars Arena, which I was just at a couple weeks ago for a Pistons game. Beautiful arena, I will say that. Fun place to watch a hockey game. Ooh, Wings' best chance right there. Sergei Fedorov creating. Here comes Coffey with a blast save. Detroit's trying to get on the board now. Trail 3-0. Quebec's the Nordiques leading on the strength of a pair of Steve Duchesne goals and one from Mike Ricci. 4:56 to go here in the second period. Wings win the faceoff. Here comes Yzerman. Yzerman looking for help. He gets triangled by a triumvirate of Nordiques players. Lidstrom, leap pass. Here comes Cicerelli. Cicerelli will look to dish. Cicerelli to the point. Shot out of play. Had someone down low, but they were not able to get that player the puck. I'm guessing it was Yzerman. So the Fedorov line comes back out. Won the faceoff, but gave the puck away. Paul Coffey. Paul Coffey was in Detroit. I don't know if they did this promotion when he was in with other teams, but they I think what guy was it 7-Eleven maybe, one of those places. They did the Paul Coffey coffee mug, and Paul Coffey himself was in the ad. I remember that as a kid, thinking that was kind of funny. Come on, boys. Sakic. There comes Konstantinov. Konstantinov tried the... Oh, Coffee lowers the boom! Sergei Fedorov. Well, that gets the crowd into it, but Detroit is still down 3-0. They really need to get going. Fedorov, a little spinorama. Fedorov drops. Put on net. Hextall save. Look out here. Oh, come on. That is not where I put the puck. Get out of here. Kamensky put down. So if you're about my age, you'll remember a lot of these names on the Nordiques team as members of the Stanley Cup champion Avalanche, 95-96. One of the most notable omissions, Peter Forsberg, of course. I didn't check if he's actually on the roster for that year. I'd have to look at that. Here we go! Yzerman save! Hextall keeping the shutout bid alive. Man, oh man. We need a goal here. Put that checking line out. They created some problems. Let's go. Let's lock in now. Here comes big Keith Primo again. Primo. Nice little spin move. Shot from the point. Easy save for Hextall. Steve Duchesne again. He's looking for a hat trick bid. Save there. Chevelday. Ooh, just missed that pass. When I was a child, I played Little League Baseball. And poor Tim Chevelday, I remember there was this terrible joke about him at the time, like when the Wings would get knocked out the first round or something like that. Here's Stevie Y. He said, rip one from the point, hoping for a rebound, did not get one. And now the Wings are going to get a penalty. Anyway, I remember being at practice for baseball, and some kid was like, hey, did you hear Tim Chevelday tried to commit suicide? It's a terrible thing to joke about. And then you're like, so you would react and go, oh, God, no, what happened? Like, he went out in the street, tried to get hit by a bus, but it went between his legs. Awful. Poor man. What a terrible, terrible joke. Here's Fedorov with it. Fedorov. So Wings on the penalty kill. And we're going to go to the third period. 3-0 Quebec with $1:23 left in this Nordiques power play. Let's get to it. Can the Wings spark themselves possibly with a shorthanded goal? Fedorov wins the faceoff. Wings with the puck. Look at the breakthrough. Look out here. The defender just went through everybody, but then did not get a shot on net. 50 seconds ago in that power play. Here goes Sergei Fedorov. Get out of his way. There's Fedorov. Fedorov dishes to him. Was saved by Hextall. Well, Fedorov's looked like the best player on the ice for Detroit. They're going to need a lot more of that. They're going to get back in this game. Sakic. He got roughed up a bit. Lost the puck. Lost his balance for a moment. Here we go here. Here's Fedorov. Fedorov. Blast it. Nice save, Hextall. He had two of his own players screening him. And he still made a quality save. 8:20 to play. Can we break this shutout bid? Ooh, Lidstrom just lost the puck. And another breakaway. Oh, Chevelday comes up with one there. Yzerman to Cicerelli. Cicerelli gets drilled. Now Yzerman steals the puck. Stevie Y. Come on. Yzerman with it. Yzerman looks. He goes the other way. Stevie's just trying to spark the team here. Yzerman going. Whoa! Shot save! Trust check not called in front of the net. 7 minutes to play. Chevelday, the Wings trying to pick up the pace here. Offside. Come on! All right, I'm going to throw the Fedorov line right back out there. Wings putting some shifts together. You get the feeling if they can get one, get some life into this crowd. There's Fedorov! Shot save! Nordiques have so effectively closed off those passing lanes. What do we got here? A penalty coming up. Tripping! Paul Coffey's going to sit for 2. They're saying he tripped Joe Sakic, old Burnaby Joe. So to another power play go the Nordiques, and the Red Wings back on the defensive. Here's Fedorov. Fedorov around the net. Fedorov trying the old 94 special. Can't get it there. He'll try her again. Here's Fedorov. Is he going to go this way? Is he going to go that way? Here he is again. Fedorov. Fedorov still with it. He finds a path. Fedorov save. Hextall. Oh my goodness. Fedorov put in some work there. Sundin. Save Chevelday. Fedorov with it again. Fedorov. To Yzerpart, I do believe. Yzerpart with it. Shot. Blocked shot. Save. Now Yzerpart with it again. Yzerpart curls. Oh, come on. He couldn't pull the trigger. Under 5 minutes to play now. Detroit getting frustratingly close to breaking up this shutout bid. They're going to need one soon if they're going to make a charge in this game. There's Sakic. Save. It goes down and into the net. Here come the Wings. Held up a bit there. Trying to look for Pat Coffey hit the post on a backhander. Oh, he was in a little too tight and the angle didn't do him any favors. Hit the post. Here's Nick Lidstrom. Lidstrom with it. Lidstrom holds. Lidstrom stops. Lidstrom over. Lidstrom shoots, save. Rebound. They trying to crash the net. Nordiques in. Rebound there. Save. Chevelday quickly up to Yzerman. Yzerman gives it away. 2.5 to play. Big hit there. Chevelday. Up ahead go the Wings. Here they come. Can they get something going here? They desperately need one. Oh, it gets hit. Should have passed it there. Had someone in front. Just $1.50 now, and it's going to be awfully tough to erase this 3-goal deficit. Throw out the checking line. Look out. Busting right in. Save there. It's going to get in a net, but Hextall makes the save. Was that Chevelday? Was that a Chevelday shot on net? Get the Fedorov line. Nope, Yzerman's line. All right. Yzerman wins the face-off. Oh, in deep. Nice save there. Hextall says, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Just a minute to go. Wings not going to bother pulling the goaltender down 3. They win that face-off. Come on, we got to get a goal. Yzerman with some speed. Yzerman getting ridden by the defenseman. Could not get the angle on Hextall. Oh, come on! The goaltender tripped him. No call. In the last 10 seconds here, and Detroit is going to get shut out by a very game Nordiques team. Hextall, Duchesne, and Ricci with the goal. Oh, sorry. Hextall with the shutout, your first star, followed by Duchesne and Ricci.